I know you're big into crypto.
Yeah, crypto's been killing it, man.
Especially for you.
Agreed. I mean, you've been doing pretty well as well.
Yeah. Well, I I like the space. I remember you called me maybe like 8 months ago, and you're like, yeah. you go, yeah, just put $1.5 million into Bitcoin. You know, I'm pretty excited about it. To see
Let's
where it
fucking go. Yeah. I'll show you my portfolio after this. But so me and Logan both bought punks. You guys will probably see on his Twitter that he bought a bunch of crypto punks at the same time, right?
Yep.
When Gary pulled us in that call.
Yep.
So have you ever told that story?
No.
Gary V, it's like fucking 11 p.m. just out of nowhere, just calls me and he's like, yo, I got like 30 people to call, hop in. I'm like, I don't care. He's like, it'll be the best decision of your life. Just get in. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And so I just joined the call and I just see like Logan and I don't even know these other people. I don't want to put them on blast.
Every heavy hitter you can imagine who's worth $1 billion was on this one call, and Gary V is in the little corner, the little square. He's going, CryptoPunks. It's gonna be huge. It's gonna be the next Facebook. Where all of us were like, okay,
everyone's
Gary.
judging. I'm texting Logan. And I'm like, Gary lost his
legit?
mind.
Bro, all of us were like, yo, Gary's nuts. Yo, Gary was right again.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
We gotta keep the story going. So there's like all these like very successful people in this call, and Gary's just like, everyone shut the fuck up. Here's what you're gonna do, and you're gonna do it right now. You're all gonna buy a bunch of CryptoPunks. And we're all just like, he's like, who here owns one? And like one guy raised his hand, and it's because Gary bullied him into buying it the day before. And we're all just like, are you sure, Gary? And we're asking questions, and he's like, just buy it. I was just so pulled by his like conviction that I bought a bunch.
Wait.
Yeah, I bought quite a few.
How many?
I don't want to say, but
you have to
no,
say,
please.
bro, you have to.
I bought multiple ones. Yeah.
Well, bro, are you in double digits, punks?
Just shy.
Okay, cool.
So
imagine he just said 60.
No.
Three zombies.
I bought like 8 of them, and they did pretty good.
And any zingers? Any like real special ones?
I had some that like whatever 20, 30x.
What's a?
We bought a lot with like the cigarettes because I thought that was an interesting attribute, and those did pretty well.
What's another characteristic? What's your rarest characteristic, punk?
Well, I've already sold quite a few of them, so I don't.
What?
Dude, he's on to the next thing.
I bought a bunch of, so then I rolled the money into V-Friends because Gary, same thing, called me. He's like, V-Friends? I was like, I don't fucking know, but last time I made money, sure. And so I basically sold them all and moved the money into V-Friends.
Can I ask you guys a question? When Gary does that call with all these billionaires and 8 months or a year later, everybody's like, Gary was right again.
Yeah.
Is it possible that he's right because of the call? Do you know what I'm saying?
I think about that a lot.
Dude, he has all these billionaire market makers in the thing. He makes the call, makes the market. By the way, you look around at all the punk owners a year later, and you're like, damn, it's all the same motherfuckers that were on the call.
No, because, bro, there's 10,000 punks, and there's only like 30 of us on the call. We can only own and do so much. There's still an entire market that's going to happen regardless.
I can tell you I don't think why, because that was all back like early February. Like things didn't pop off till later, and every like NFT project was popping off, not just punk.
I mean, make no mistake. Like having such influential people involved in projects, it can't hurt the ability for the project to work. You know what I'm saying?
95% of those people didn't even mention it. You know what I mean? Like, I've never talked about it publicly.
Right.
You into like NFTs in general, or any other projects that you're excited about?
I mean, I'm mostly a Bitcoin holder, but just it's fun. I literally just like once a month, I'm like, Gary, what NFT should I buy? And then I just buy what he tells me.
So Gary called me, and I'm a collector at heart, which is like why I like the space. Oh, yeah. I like just like
the Pokemon guy's a collector.
Exactly.
Who saw that coming?
Exactly, dude. And so Gary called me, and we have these talks. Like we talk probably every other day at least.
Yeah.
And he called me like a month ago. He's like, Logan, I promise you, like, I know you. You're a smart kid. If you play this right, like I know you can, like you do with Pokemon, the NFT industry, you can make $250 million. And I go,
how do you not like perk up?
How is this? But he's never wrong, right? So that's where I started.
Yeah.
And then, bro, the other day, I got the idea.
Yeah.
And I want to run it by you, not now, off the podcast. But I'm pretty sure I had the most revolutionary, monumental piece of IP in my head, and I've been I can't sleep for the past like 2 days.
So like for making your own version of punk?
No. Just a really, really special NFT project.
You started in your bedroom.
Yep.
At what point did you start investing into the videos at a different scale?
Great question. Literally, put on me the entire time. When I used to make like $1 a day, I saved up for months and I bought a microphone, way worse than this microphone. And then I saved up for like half a year and I bought a computer. I the whole time I was like recording on my iPhone. So I was recording and editing on my iPhone when I first started, and then I got a microphone you could plug in, then I got a computer to edit on, and then after like 2 years of just filming on my phone, I had 100,000+ subscribers, but I still didn't have a camera because those things cost like $1,000, or I was stupid. I didn't realize you could buy like a G7X for $400. So then I bought a camera, and after that I bought monitors for my computer, and I just kept going and reinvesting, and then I tipped pizza delivery people $100, and then I tipped a homeless man 10 grand, and then, you know, gave away cars, gave away houses, and last hand take hand off $1 million keeps it, and basically the entire time. So like for the last like 8 or 9 years, like every dollar I've made, I just spent it the next month on content, and I just did that every single month, and it just kept getting bigger and bigger, and here we are.
You give away millions of dollars now, $500,000 at a time, like large sums of money. But when you first started giving away $5,000 or $10,000,
it first started with $100, literally, like even less than that, like donating like $10 to Twitch streamers and stuff like that. But like the first real IRL one, I would order a pizza and I'd tip $100. I think I did like 3 in that video, so it was like $300.
But when it gets to 10,000, that's when I think the people, and I would imagine people around you, like your mom, are probably like, Jimmy, what?
Yep.
Are you sure about that?
Exactly.
Like, what was her reaction to that?
Well, so I did my first brand deal. I'm sure you guys have heard the story, but for people that don't know, I was offered $5 grand for a video. But this was when I was like 19, and it was so much money. It's like, Mom, look, and I was like, double it, and I'll walk outside and I'll give it to a homeless person. And they're like, no, you won't. And I was like, double it. And I was like pacing around my neighborhood for 3 hours, convincing this guy, like on the phone, just double the money. I promise the video will go viral, and I'll give it to homeless person. I was like, $10,000 just looks better in a title. It'll get more views. I promise your app will do better. And I ended up getting $10,000 and then gave it away. And my mom's like, why don't you just give away $8,000, $9,000? Why all $10,000? I was like, Mom, it'll look better in the title, and it's just better, you know. And that's basically that.
Yeah. How did you know that, you know, giving away $100? I guess it's natural, but like, why does it make such good content? Like, why do those things make good?
It's something I've always enjoyed. Like, even when I was, I don't want to say poor, I don't want to over dramatize my story. Like, you know, we weren't ever that poor, but when I didn't have as much money, if I saw a homeless person, I would, you know, open my wallet and give them almost all the money I had. It's just fun, you know, because then you see the reaction, their face light up, stuff like that. And so it kind of was just something I always enjoyed, because there were so much easier ways to get views back then than like having to give away money and less stressful stuff. But I just enjoyed it, and I thought it was interesting to see people's reactions, and like to try to, like, they're expecting $1 and you give them 100 and they're like, oh my God, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like a mixture of what I thought was interesting, but also what I enjoy, if that makes sense. Like, if you told me when I was like 15 that one day I'd make 100 grand a year, I would have been like, what the f?
Yeah.
People make that kind of money?
Right.
Like, I thought it was crazy that a YouTuber made like 300 grand over the course of a few years. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, it was pretty brutal. Like, you know, a few $100 was like out of this world insane back then, you know?